How can you effectively work with other coding bootcamp students to complete a project? Hi, my name is David. I successfully completed a coding bootcamp at UC Berkeley, and during the coding bootcamp, we had to complete 3 original web application projects and work with other coding bootcamp students. And before this bootcamp, I never coded with anyone else before, so I didn't really know what it was like. And when we had to code with other students, everyone was from different backgrounds, and also everyone was still new to coding, so none of us really had experience, none of us really know best practices on how to code with others. So in this video, I want to give you 3 tips on how you can effectively work with other coding bootcamp students in a team environment. So the first tip I have is that you get to know your team members. What I suggest is before you get started coding, before you get started thinking of what app idea you want to create, you take the time to go in a circle and get to know each other. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know some key things, such as, do you have any prior commitments or work that might affect your ability to work together? Another thing is your work style. Do you prefer uninterrupted time working, or do you not mind constantly being able to ask each other questions while working? And also anything you want to improve on, because this is in a learning environment, such as, do you want to get better at design? Do you still get confused with databases? Do you still get confused with certain front-end things? This is a time to let other people know that what you want to work on, so people can understand your strengths and weaknesses. The second thing is that you just have stand-up meetings. So before each day, before you start coding, take the time to take turns to let other people know what you were able to accomplish. And this is important because whenever you figure something out, solve a difficult problem, especially in coding, it's very fulfilling when you're able to solve it, and you want to express to others that you're able to solve this difficult problem. So let other people know what you were able to done, what you're able to accomplish. And also, not just the good stuff, but the bad stuff as well. What are you struggling with? You can't be shy and not let your other team members know what you're struggling with, because we're all there to help each other, and there's no need to get overly stressed. This is a learning environment, so you're all there to improve and help each other out. And lastly, the third thing is that once you complete the project, you get feedback, you evaluate yourselves. So once you finish the project, once you finish the presentation, you deploy the project, take the time to evaluate. Go around and ask each other what each other did well in terms of a technical standpoint and also a teamwork standpoint, because you want to be able to improve upon each project. This is important because when you talk to a recruiter, sometimes you have to talk about your projects, and they might ask you difficult questions, such as, tell me about a time when you had to resolve a conflict, or why did you use this API versus another API, or if you had to redo your project, what we done differently. And this is so critical to evaluate yourself and your project about what you could improve on, so you can become better and also have practice. So if someone asks you about your project, you can effectively communicate your app to others. So those are the 3 main things I suggest. Is first, you get to know your team members. Second, you have stand-up meetings. And lastly, you evaluate yourself at the end of each project. Thank you for listening.